another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, the first episode of the new year, the first episode of 2024. And speaking of 2024 and the new year, Luxel. Have you checked out Luxel yet? Well, start 2024 with Luxel, the search engine that has uncensored results, extra privacy, and more control. Start 2024 with Luxel. That's LUXXLE.com. And don't forget, We the People. We the People of Cape County is back after a Christmas break. January 2nd, 5:00 p.m. at Delmonico's, as usual. We the People will meet. The guest on January 2nd is Wes Scroggins. The topic is abortion really banned in Missouri? And you know what they say, if you gotta ask. That's January 2nd. Might as well go ahead and tell you about January 9th. Informed Health Choice, protecting Missourians' right to informed consent. The guests are Jennifer Ann Barker and Shelley Smith. That too is at Delmonico's. It is January 9th, 5:00 p.m. We the People. Now, let's dive in to today's episode. Here we go. I'm glad you have joined me. And as you can see, I'm here on the couch. I decided to do this first episode of the new year, just kind of chilling out on the couch. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. First of all, I did last week's episode early. I wanted it to come out before Christmas, and it was called Christ is Not Jesus's Last Name. If you did not catch that episode, please check it out. But that actually came out on Sunday, the day before Christmas. I wanted it to do that. And so that means I haven't had a chance to tune in with you, to connect with you after Christmas. So I hope you had a Merry Christmas. And now, of course, we've already gone through New Year's Eve and New Year. So again, Happy New Year to you. And I hope you had a wonderful time of ringing in the new year. And I hope that you are ready for a wonderful, wonderful new year. I hope you transitioned into it in an exciting way. And I hope you're ready to roll as I am. I'm not going to keep you long today on this first episode. I really want to use this as a sort of a reflection. No, I'm not going to go, well, these are the 3 things I learned in 2023. Although hey, maybe I'll decide to do that another time. But really, I'm in this moment just wanting to take a look back at what I told you at the end of 2022 concerning this podcast, the Adrienne Ross Show. I said to you that I wanted to level up. In fact, I did an episode called Leveling Up the Adrienne Ross Show. And did I do that? I wanted to do better. Not that I had been doing bad, but I really wanted to do better. So let's just take a look at what I expressed to you as we entered into 2023. So moving into 2023, as we move ahead and hopefully level up, I will continue to do that, talk about a wide range of subjects. Like I said, I want to do a Q&A episode. I want to talk to more authors. I was able to do an episode, I believe it was October, with 2 authors. One of them is, one of my best friends. And I also had an aspiring author on there, as well as another friend who's an author. And so we did an episode about that. I intend to do more, at least 2 that I can think of already with authors. So that's coming. I want to talk to people who have inspiring stories, where people can relate. And so I intend to do that as well. I really am working in my mind on this episode, a panel of different voices on a particular topic yet to be announced. And so there's that coming your way also, as far as that's my plan anyway. So I'm working on those things. So you'll get me one-on-one as well. But I do want to up having guests on the show, and so that you can also hear from other voices. I want to bring valuable people with valuable stories and valuable things to share to the audience of the Adrienne Ross Show. So how did I do? You just saw a little bit of the episode on leveling up, which is what I intended to do for 2023. Okay. One of the things we like to do at the end of a year, at the beginning of a year, is to assess. I said that leveling up had a lot to do with bringing different voices, that I would continue to do a wide range of topics because that's who I am, right? I do different things. I'm multifaceted. I'm not in a box. And I continued that. I said that I wanted to have guests on. I mentioned having a panel on. I said that was yet to be announced. I talked about having authors on, more authors on, which I had already done. So when I look at that, I did have a couple authors on the show in 2023, but I did not have authors on in 2023 speaking specifically about their books. I've done that in the past. So I didn't do that. Although the people I had on, I did have a couple authors on the show. So there's that. The panel I ended up doing, actually, I did three shows with two different sets. One of them had two parts. The first one was an episode with a panel of single Christian women who desire to be married. And that was an interesting topic and a long one. So we broke that into two episodes. And I thought, well, if I'm going to talk to single women, it would be good to talk to single men. And so I did that as well. I had an episode maybe a couple months after the first one with the ladies, maybe less than a couple months, but I had some single Christian men who desired to be married, and I had an opportunity to talk with them. Very, very interesting. So I did that. And so I kept my word, if you would call it that, my goal, which was to bring more guests. But it's not just those. It's not just the authors that I had on, although we weren't talking about their books. It's not just the panel with the single women and the single men. When I look back over all the episodes of 2023, I am really pleased with what I did in terms of bringing in other voices and not just you getting to hear my voice. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I've even gotten feedback. People really enjoy hearing from other people. So I'm glad that I was able to do what I said I endeavored to do. Let me show you exactly how that breaks down. Like I said, this is reflection time, okay? And then I want to walk you through this as we then walk forward into 2024 and what that holds for us. So take a look. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to take a look at these episodes. Not look at the whole episodes, but take a look at the videos. You'll see what I'm saying here. Okay, so here is my page on YouTube, The Adrienne Ross Show. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe and share with other people as well. But this is The Adrienne Ross Show. And then you will see the episodes. These are a bunch of episodes that I did in 2023. Okay, so this is from the last to the first of 2023. All right, I just want to look and see how many times did I have guests on the show. Okay, here's one. Had a guest here recently. And over here, you can see a guest right here. Now, here's the taking it to the streets. So there were many guests. That's something that I'm really excited about that I launched in 2023. And that is the taking it to the streets, getting out of my office or the couch even, and getting out and just talking to random people about whatever topic I want to talk about. I love it. People enjoy being asked. Well, not everybody does, but I encountered a lot of people who enjoy the opportunity to express themselves on given topics. So had guests here, and then I had guests here, and I was on site at the library. And then I had a guest here, and she's an author, by the way. And I had a guest here, another taking it to the street. So I have multiple guests here. All right, another taking it to the street. So I had guests here and guests here, another taking it to the streets, guest here. I didn't start taking it to the streets right away. I didn't do that until sometime in the summer, maybe even the end of the summer. So there's a taking it to the streets. Yeah, that was 3 months ago. And that was the first one I did here. I had guests here. All right. Had guests here. And both of these, this is her book right here. Actually, both of my guests on this episode are authors. All right. I had a guest here and a guest here. And then here I am with guests here as well. And then I had a guest here who's the spokesperson for Luxel, by the way. And this was celebrating 100 episodes. So the BMG Network team was on. That was fun. And so those were guests. Had a guest here. Happens to be Pastor Zach Strong. Had a guest here. Had a guest here. And here. And in this one, I actually had multiple guests. It was for the National Day of Prayer. And though I wasn't on Zoom with them or in the same room with them, I had 7 people record themselves praying into 7 key areas. And so they were guests of that show and guests here. I mean, look at that, guys. I said I wanted to level up, and I said that meant I wanted to have more guests, and look at what I did. I was able to do that. And here is the episode with the single Christian men. So I had 4 of them on the show, and then I had a guest over here, and I had a guest over here. And then this was one of the shows with the 4 single Christian women. And like I said, we did 2 parts. So part 1 and part 2, I had guests there, and I had guests here, and I had a guest here as well, and a guest here as well. And this is the episode where I mentioned the leveling up. So if my math is correct, I did 56 episodes of the Adrienne Ross Show. 56 episodes in 2023 because I did some extra episodes. I didn't, sometimes I did more than 1 episode. So that's pretty cool. So I did 56, and 31 of the 56 had guests. So did I keep my word? I would say I did. 31 of the 56. I was able to bring in people, and it's not always easy to be able to schedule people who are going to be people who are going to bring us insight and bring us maybe sometimes make us laugh and sometimes teach us some things and sometimes really dig deeply into some things. It's not always easy to do that, but 31 of the 56 episodes, I was able to have guests on the show. And I'm really, really excited about that. So I'm glad that I reflected on that to see, Adrienne, did you do what you endeavored to do? And I can say, yes, I did, that I was going to bring people on. And then you would also have times when you would hear from me. Now, I am anticipating that the next episode will be another episode with guests. And this time it will be the single ladies again, not everyone from the last episode when I did the single Christian women. We're going to do another episode with single Christian women. I want to talk about that. Where are we since last year for anyone who is returning, but also not everyone is returning. So we'll hear from at least one person, perhaps more, who didn't do the last episode, but this is an issue that really interests people, and an episode I think is very, very important, whether you're married, whether you're single, and if you're in the church. When it comes to talking to Christian single women, I think it's very, very important. And so I'm hoping to bring that to you next week. So make sure that you are tuned in and tell someone else. Hey, listen, that's really all that I have for us today. I wanted to reflect, and I want to tell you that I intend to continue to bring you good stuff, whether it's politics, whether it's education, whether it is what I've been dealing with in terms of the library and what they're putting before children. There's an update on that battle, as well as to the material that is accessible to children in the library. Yeah, that's been quite a battle, and there's an update, but I'm not going to give that today. But there'll be more of that going forward as well, and who knows what else there will be. This is 2024. This is an election year. It's going to be it's already sizzling, and it's going to heat up, no doubt. So there will be that also. And again, like I said, I want to continue to bring you quality episodes with quality guests. Oh, that's my desire. All right. And I hope we grow, and I hope we expand, and you can help me do that. I said in that Level Up episode, I asked, please make sure you go to podcast platforms and that you subscribe and that you leave a rating and a review. And you know what? I really am. It is kind of embarrassing, because I can say that when I look at Apple Podcasts, for example, where a lot of people listen, I have not had anyone write a review for me in about a year and a half. And that to me just blows my mind, because people will say to me that they enjoy the podcast, that it's making a difference. And yet I haven't been able to get anybody to write one. And every week I come on and say, hey, please take a moment. And I don't even know if anyone's done a rating since then. I would venture to say probably not. That kind of makes me sad. I'm not here to guilt you, but I'm just saying, every week I say, hey, would you just give me a 5-star rating if you feel it deserves it? Hey, write a quick sentence as a review or more. And I don't know, people they just keep it moving. But I would appreciate if you would do that. Again, I don't want to guilt you, but I've said over and over again, hey, I love that you tell me that, but I know those things matter in algorithms, and it just matters in other people being interested in it when they see that other people find it of value. So if you would do that, that would be absolutely wonderful. Wherever you can leave a rating and a review, please do so. Wherever you can subscribe, please do so. And speaking of subscriptions, please subscribe to my Substack. That is AdrienneRoss.substack.com. This podcast is, I will say, housed on Substack. And then obviously, of course, you have the YouTube edition as well. So AdrienneRoss.substack.com. Really would appreciate your support there, your subscription there, even your financial subscription for the paid ones. That would be such a blessing as well. And go to the BMG Network. That is the BMGnetwork.com, where other podcasters are who are engaging, enlightening, informative, and yes, also entertaining. And don't forget, we the people had just a little break, and they are going to hit it wide open as always. And once again, the next meeting is January 2nd, 5:00 p.m. The topic is abortion really banned in Missouri with Wes Scroggins. And you know that you can check out We the People at www.wethepeopleofmissouri.org. So thank you so much for tuning in to this first episode of 2024. I wish you and I pray for you to have the best year yet. The best year yet. God bless you abundantly. We'll catch you next time, God willing.